A warm welcome, everyone. I'm Lady Flame, and today we are back to Ambition and Minuet Power. We are in a dire situation. We are facing trial. Just go without further ado. But first, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry. I love the dramatics. Anyways. The next morning, you find yourself dragged into a crowded courtroom. It takes a second to realize that it's the most people you've seen at once in weeks. Oh my gosh. Looking around, you survey the crowd, feeling rare flashes of familiarity at some of their faces. It's likely you've seen them at various splendid parties over the years. Has it really been that long? Your life in Paris feels like it's just flown by. Yeah, it feels like some weeks. And it feels eons from your life in the country. A judge at the front of the courthouse clears his throat, jolting you from your reverie. Ah yes, you're supposed to be dissuading them from making you a head shorter. That's Yvette is such a way to describe things. That's why you're here. Pay attention, everyone. Return to your seats. I shall have order in my courtroom. Order! The case we have before us is quite out of the ordinary. Still, I shall not allow this fully to sully the decency of this proceeding. Madame Yvette Decaux, you stand accused of leading conspiracy against His Majesty King Louis XVI. This is a high crime indeed. Yeah, indeed. Leading a conspiracy against the king? Me? You've done a lot of questionably illegal things, but this is one of them. What is going on here? Should you be found guilty, the judge continues sternly, you shall be sentenced to death. Oh, that's not cool. How do you plead? I'm innocent? I mean, these are valid questions. I never heard of recharges or should I have a lawyer, but I plead innocent. That's the question I'm answering. He paused to squint at you, examining you carefully. Duly noted. You gain credibility. Incredible. The Crown's prosecutor shall now make his opening statements. Thank you, Your Honor, the prosecutor says as he strides into the center of the room with a practiced ease. I am Antoine Fouquier-Tinville, and it is my duty to bring the enemies within our midst to justice. Yeah. The woman who stands before you is charged with scheming with foreign agents and leading a group of revolutionary fanatics. Instead of living at peace within the bosom of our kingdom, I'm sorry, I'm so childish, which had provided for a subsistence, oh my gosh. Instead of obeying the laws, she instead plotted against His Majesty the King and against the Frankish people themselves. Calm down. Peril up. Oh, chill. And because it's true that you were engaged to Baron Armand de Marble. Was Monsieur, but I haven't seen him in months. What does have to do? Why, prosecutor, do you always start your courtship so strongly, girl? Not the time. I haven't seen him in months. Yeah, medium credibility. I have 100 credibility. Do not fear your challenges. Oh, really? Prosecutor Fouquier, do you have conclusive evidence to show Madame Decaux was in contact with her fiancé for the last few months? I do not, Your Honor. Oh, no. Then I must ask you to redirect your lie, no questioning. The judge growls impatiently. Thank you, Mr. Judge. Thank you, Your Honor. The jury takes note of this, and you can hear them murmuring their approval of you. Merci. Moving on, it is known to us that your fiancé's actions were done in service to a traitorous group called the Frankish Habsburgen Society. Attempt to keep your face blank but your mind races. How exactly does he know all of this? This group aims to suborn our kingdom to the monarchy of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Oh my gosh. Their cause is treasonous by definition and would have made slaves of us all. Yeah, that sounds bad. Yeah, did you ever do anything to aid or abet this cabal of fanatics? Why would I ever do that? Yeah, let's not. Let's just... I did not. Really. I see, he says, narrowing his eyes at you. This proclaimed lack of association, of course, is not enough to prove you're innocent, but in all his attempts to salvage his question, you can see the jurors eyeing the prosecutor skeptically. Yeah. There's also, of course, the question of your puzzling finances. Excuse me? It is known to the court that you live alone, separated from your fiancé for some time. Oh, I got the blackmail money, but I cannot tell you that, I guess. At least it appears that way. Possess no great fortune, you had no husband to support you. Oh yeah, because women couldn't do job, they weren't allowed. And yet you were able to maintain your own estate, complete with servants. Okay. Camille, she is the best. Okay. Maybe there was a gardener, I forgot, but I never met him. I know Camille and she's amazing. You cannot have her. Not certain if it's really fair to call your tumble-down home an estate. That doesn't seem to be stopping him. Yeah, I mean, it stands up. It's also known that you made yourself intimate with the higher tiers of society. Yeah, which one? Then you moved among them. Bedecked finery far above what your station should allow. Such things are not cheap. Well, there is this amazing seamstress called Fatima. She gives me a bit of discount because I talk about her greatly. Given your alleged leadership of a dangerous cabal of fanatics funded by foreign agents, it will be hard to imagine that these foreign powers not to be hard to imagine that these foreign powers supported you financially. To my point, did you receive money from a foreign power? No, I have a job at Trompette du Peuple. I wish I did! Oh my gosh, girl, no. To what end? How do fancy dresses are made to threaten the country? I mean, fair, but also, it could be used to infiltrate things and share the ideology, etc., find power, blah blah blah. So, yeah, let's say the truth. The newspaper? Yeah. You what? You work for? This is, of course, difficult to prove. Part of the reason you could maneuver so efficiently through Paris-sized society is because your work was conducted off the books. Call my man Pierre. You would say, yeah, she's told me all the gossip. Sure, my career as a gossip hunter will be kinda over, but at the same time, there's a revolution going on. However, you don't need to convince this fool of that. You merely need to convince the jury. To that end, they seem to be nodding along quite thoughtfully, generally seeing disavowed of suspicion this particular account. Let's go. Pearl down. Slowly, the whispered conversation in the various corners of the courtroom spiral out of control. Soon, you can barely hear yourself think above the din. Just as the crowd builds to an unbearable volume, the judge raises his hand and shushes people, slowly bringing the room to order. Slowly, Prosecutor Fouquier stalks back to his seat. Settle down, everyone. We shall take this time to call for a recess, he groans, prepared to readjourn with half an hour. Okay, woo, we're still alive. Oh gosh, still? The courtroom quickly empties out as people take their time to stretch their legs. However, do you decide to remain in place? You don't actually have anywhere to go. Yeah, remember, stretch your legs, stretch your arms, control your posture. Don't be a shrimp. Don't be a shrimp. Okay? Good. Relax your neck, your mouth, get a drink. Just as you begin to settle in, a cheery voice rings out beyond you. Madame, you're alive! Tell me, it's Camille. Camille, my girl! Camille bounds up to you, carrying a small basket with her. I heard you were being tried at the courthouse. They came as quickly as a good girl. I could kiss you. From what I heard outside, it sounds like things are going very well for you. The prosecutor was absolutely furious. Oh, girl, you are here for the tea, and I love you for that. I thought you might be hungry, so got lunch, tea, and wine. Won't you like me? Oh, my gosh, Camille. It's at this point that you remember that you haven't eaten since you were apprehended. Merci beaucoup, Camille. I will love some lunch and tea. Yeah, this was stressful. I need some wine. Let's not get drunk. Okay, Camille pours you a cup of tea from a teapot that she somehow managed to keep warm. She's amazing. This tea is strong, hot, and you almost immediately feel more invigorated. It'll be easier for you to be your charming and engaging self. More credibility, let's go. The moment you bite into the lunch that Camille prepared for you, your hunger returns in full force. You devour the meal almost immediately. This welcome repast, however, is interrupted by a figure looming over you. Joanna, girl, I thought you ran away with the other guy, with Armand. Come on, why are you here? So we'll meet again, Yvette. It really is a shame that someone managed to connect you to the Frankish Habsburg society. That bloodthirsty prosecutor has even gotten it into his head that you're the leader. What a tragedy! Imagine you being wrongfully executed as the leader of a society you were never even a member of. Girl, did you set me up? Did you set me? Is that what your expression is? It's saying to me. I hope not. Come on, I thought we were buddies. I thought we were friends. Come on. Well, at least now the authority will stop searching for us entirely, and it will be so much easier for the Frankish Habsburg society to rebuild and continue its work. In fact, I imagine Armand will be extremely distraught by your passing and might even need a shoulder to cry on. You can take it, you don't need to just a shoulder to take all of him. First, he'll be upset about my testimony, but that will pass. In time, you'll understand that this was just a necessary evil. After all, I can be very convincing. Oh, so since I didn't throw the guy under the bus, they're throwing me under the bus, or the guillotine in this case. So why not be a good little sacrifice and just die for us? There, girl, just say the quiet part out loud. Never get away with this. Choke on your tongue. Laugh now while you can, Madame Dujardin, or should I say Madame von Holbein? Yeah. I didn't know that name, she says, I throw greater teeth. She stops to breathe slowly and recomposes herself. No, you have nothing. Absolutely nothing, you're sure? Well, this is all over. I will bury you soon. Oh, you'll be forgotten. I'll be free to do as I please once more. She claps her hands together. Well, looks like the recess is about to finish up. I'll let you enjoy your last meal. Ta-ta, Yvette. Ta-ta, Joanna. With that, she leaves. Camille? I may need a second. Oh my gosh, we were served some tea. I really don't like that woman, Camille mumbles to herself. She glares daggers at Joanna's back. Yeah, I don't like her either now. Come on. Before you can reply, a guard ushers Camille to a seat at the back of the courtroom, and everyone else starts to take their seats. Final challenge is about to begin. Okay, let's go. Judge stands before the court as the recess comes to a close. Order in my court. The trial of Madame Yvette Decaux is now back in session. Just take a seat, and from across the courtroom you can see prosecutor. Okay, calm down with the music. Just came in strong. Prosecutor Fouquier already striking into the center of the room with a vicious gleam in his eyes. To begin, the prosecution would like to call to the stand Viscountess Marcel de Foix. We are screwed. The crowd whisper excitedly among themselves as Marcel proudly strides to the center of the room. When we first met Marcel, she was already powerful, but the crown's recent victories have only strengthened her. Dang it! What she's doing here cannot be good. Hey, a blood of blackmail. It's all good, right? Viscountess de Foix, do you swear to tell the whole truth without a hate and without fear? I doubt that without age. Of course, good monsieur. Oh, what a freaking liar you are. As the prosecutor prepares to question this witness, you can't help but notice that Marcel hasn't stopped staring at you since she walked in. I said nothing, you better say nothing, girl. Viscountess de Foix, please describe in your own words the events that took place on February of 1789. One night at my estate, I was hosting a dinner party. In attendance was one Baron Armand de Marable. After dessert, he inquired to see if he could speak to me alone. Oh, you find anything unusual about this request? Not in the slightest. At the time, I had to contend with a small army of young men hoping to romance me, girl, as a means of seeking my family's fortune. Yeah, you can keep him too. If you want him, you can keep him. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to fight you over that. She thought I was going to be jealous about that. Come on, girl, come on. Once we were alone, we started talking about our mutual interests in ensuring that France is guided by a wise and steady hand. Why, I agreed. First, he then launched into this tirade about the Austro-Hungarian Empire and how much the French people stood to benefit. Oh, it didn't take long for me to realize that he was seriously proposing that we merge our country with another, that we give up our tradition and even the political autonomy of France. She snorted derisively at the top. Obviously, a lady of my bearing could never have been swayed by such tawdry notions, so I demanded to know who put him up to this ridiculous plot. Armand never said who, but he said that he was but a representative of this Frankish and Burgundian society, and went on to mention that this group was run by an intelligent woman of humble origins. Oh my gosh, no! Are you saying I was this humble woman? Oh, regardless, I cast him out and demanded that he never speak to me again. Well, you know that the last part isn't completely true, that she certainly seems to believe the rest of it. Oh dear. You have no reason to believe that you know who the mastermind behind this so-called society will be. She's just gonna say, oh yes I do, and not answer, and everyone will assume, oh, it's talking about Yvette. I do. Oh no, she's just lying, okay? Yvette could visit my estate about weeks later, inquiring after her Armand. Certainly a woman of unusual cunning for her background, and obviously of low origins. It makes sense that she's the ringleader. Girl. Remember I got a dirty laundry about you? Never in your life have you ever been so insulted by a compliment. True. Merci, Viscountess de Foix. The prosecution rests. Then the Comte, you shall be given the right to ask a single question to your witness. Oh, joy of joys! A single question. How generous of them. Go ahead and ask. Oh my gosh. We have actual evidence, so why would Armand reach out to you? I mean, true, but also this isn't relevant to the case. Okay, we're gonna look at it and then I'm gonna reload the save. What exactly are you implying? You think that your Amanda has some reason to judge me as disloyal to France? Your audacity truly knows no bounds. You refuse to waste my time on this ridiculous attack on my honor. The only thing I'm guilty of is that of being judged incorrectly by your foolish fiancé. Madame de Caux, we have no reason to doubt the word of Madame de Foix, esteemed personnage. Whoopsie. Well, we saw that. Let's... do you have proof? Yeah, about that. No, I do not. However, I think we can all agree that the word of a lady of standing such as myself should simply be enough. No. Marcel sees, as you can all hear the jury mumble doubtfully about this particular sentiment. I'm not sorry, Marcel. Madame de Foix, if you have some proof that's more substantial than hearsay and a supposition, I demand that you provide it immediately. Well, I don't have any. Are you happy? No, I'm certainly not. De Foix, you are dismissed, so we shall discuss your conduct here later date. Damn, you're in trouble with the judge too, girl. Stop hurting the little dog. The judge glares at Marcel. She slinks away. Tiny dog in tow. Poor puppy. That the judge takes his seat, and you watch Prosecutor Fouquier return to the center of the courtroom, a confident swagger in his step. Oh dear. The prosecution would like to call Joanna Desjardins to the witness stand. Oh my gosh, let me pretend to be surprised, even though she said something about testimony. Joanna approaches the center of the court and fixes you with a steady stare. Girl? Better not. Ange de Jardin, do you swear to tell the whole truth without hatred and without fear? I doubt it, Pasher. Nothing will give me greater pleasure, Your Honor. Sensing none of the venom dripping for Joanna's word, the judge takes his seat. Just looking at this woman causes a pain to grow in your chest, like a snake crawling around your heart. What is she plotting? She told you, girl, come on. In your own words, can you please tell the court what you observed in the summer of 1789? At this time I was living on the western side of the city with Armand de Marble. During my time living with him, I observed many suspicious instances. Frequently held meetings with various unscrupulous persons, meeting that, I learned later, were traitors to the interests of France. You seem familiar with what the people were discussing. Did you yourself take a part of any of these traitorous meetings? Absolutely not. However, I did happen to read a few of the letters that Armand had left scattered around our residence together. Armand was always so careless, you see. Oh my gosh, girl. Reading his correspondence, I found that he was still frequently in contact with his fiancée Yvette, who was living elsewhere in the city. From what I observed, I believe that she is the mastermind behind this fiendish Frankish Habsburgian society, that she had deceived him into acting against his best interests, and I guess, yes, the prosecutor interrupts, waving his hand dismissively. The court has agreed to look upon the Baron de Marmont mercifully in exchange for your assistance in finding the leader of the organization. In regard to your claim that the defendant is said mastermind, do you have any evidence to support this claim? Well, in fact, I do. You do? Earlier on, I entrusted it to you as evidence for her crimes. It is a letter she sent to her Armand, stating her involvement with this cabal of fanatics. What? What did they do? I must confess that I stole this letter from Armand, but I hope that the court will be lenient upon me in light of my contribution to the public good, girl. Don't worry, Madame du Jardin. I'm sure the court can be convinced to see the upright intent behind your transgression. To quote the letter discovered by Madame de Jardin, Armand, the success of Frankish Habsburgian society's success hinges on your action. You must put aside the reservation for the good of our cause. You work too hard since founding this great order to let the contemptible monarchs of this land stand in the way of my ambitions. At the end, it's signed, your partner in conspiracy, Yvette. I think we have no choice but to believe that missive is the product of your nefarious handiwork, Madame de Caux. The jury mutters darkly among themselves, and you cannot stop the horror you feel from reaching your face. I know, Yvette. Your treason words truly are shocking. I hardly believed them myself when I read them. This is a forgery. Please look upon your crimes for yourself. If you can bear witness to them. The prosecutor sneers as he shoves the letter in your face. Frankly, scan the unfamiliar letter and feel your stomach plummet. It looks like your handwriting is not a perfect forgery, but it's close. It's that guy again. Look at Joanna smile. It's a smile of triumph that the predator gives its prey before the end. Damn. Look inside your bag with a smile of your own. Joanna may have fooled herself into thinking that she could possibly outwit you, but you already have everything you need to strip her of any such delusions. The prosecution rests, Your Honor. Prosecutor takes his seat and you take a moment to compose yourself. You're almost giddy with anticipation. As before, the court shall grant you the privilege of a question for the witness. Sure, you have many questions, Yvette, but you should make this one count. Your Honor, before I question her, I'd like to submit 3 items of evidence. Yeah? The courtroom gasped at this unexpected declaration. What could you possibly have? Oh, they listened. Soon enough. I'm sorry, you would like to what? Didn't like to what? Joanna spits. You! Stop the foolishness immediately! My title is Your Honor, Madame, the judge growls at Joanna. I shall also remind you that I do not answer to your whims. My duty is to find traitors in the crown and have them removed from our midst. Van de Caux, what do you have for us? This better be good. Carefully, you lay out the 3 pieces of evidence you spent months gathering together for just such an occasion. First is a letter you found underneath your kitchen floorboards, telling the existence of mysterious Joanna, who is leading the Frankish Habsburg Society. That you introduced the letter that Armand gave you, the one signed by one Joanna von Halbein, and writing matches that first letter, but unfortunately it's written in German. You are extremely fortunate, citizen Decaux, the judge chuckles. As a man of learning, I'm perfectly able to read German. Sir, Your Honor, thank you, you're amazing, you're very cool, I like you. Please give the letter here. The judge reads in silence for a few minutes before intoning, let it be known to the court that this letter indicates that the one known as Joanna Dujardin is actually an Austrian woman by the name of Joanna von Holbein. Other details little less of relevance. Finally, you present the signet ring of the von Halbein family. Its sigil was used to seal both letters. Originally intended to allow Armand to escape across the border to safety, it has now become the final nail in our coffin. All of this evidence should suggest that this Madame von Halbein is the real leader of the Frankish Society. Also means that she has attempted to frame you as the real leader of this organization. The judge says to you, the reality of this situation slowly dawning on him. Sacre bleu! Guard arrested woman, the judge screams in shock, pointing at Joanna. No! Joanna snapped. She's roughly seasoned, either shouldered by a pair of guards. Do you think this is over? Do you insignificant fleas have any idea what I've sacrificed to get this far? Do you have any idea who? All this Eucrates had to do was admit for a single moment that you weren't the smartest people in the room, to admit that none of you have any idea what you're doing, but you couldn't even do that. Damn! This isn't the end. My ambition will not be contained, not by you, not by nation, not even by God. You are most fortunate then, Madame von Halbein. Your ambition will be ended by neither man, nation, nor the divine. Shall be ended by a guillotine? Oh no, I feel bad! Guard, take her away. We'll arrange a proper trial for her crimes later. Damn! Joanna glares at you, her eyes dripping with hatred. Enjoy the cells. Don't forget this moment. I want you to remember what you burned. Damn. Don't even look at her. I feel so bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. It's just too much of a punishment. I get it. She done wrong thing, but I get you. It's too much. Maybe I am too soft. I'm too soft. Don't you ignore me. Don't you dare ignore me. Joanna screams at the guards drag her, kicking and screaming out of the room. As for you, Yvette Decaux, have no choice but to declare a mistrial and find you innocent of all charges. The judge sighs. Thank you, Your Honor. Mistrial, Your Honor? Surely you can't be serious. You will be silent, and yes, you would like to join Madame von Halbein in a cell? Yo, I love this judge. I'm absolutely through with being contradicted by my own court today. Okay, is this like the great-great-grandpa of the judge from Ace Attorney? I will believe that theory. I like the as a headcanon, I'm claiming it. Prosecutor Fonquer slinks away at being reprimanded, but not before he gives you a haughty sneer. You decide to favor him with your broadest and sweetest smile. Like, sir, you were doing your job, I was doing my job of defending myself, but we just found the truth. Don't be mad at that. This trial is over, Yvette Decaux, you are free to go. Let's freaking go! With a gesture to the guards, he finishes up the proceeding and the crowd begins to file out to the courtroom. You follow them outside, eager to leave this place behind. Madame, you did it! You survived! Camille, let me hug you, let me kiss you. I cannot romance you, Camille, but if I could, I would, 1,000%. You have been with me through thick and thin. You're always by my side, Camille. Camille exclaims as she bounds over to you and sees you in a hug, so fierce that it certainly crushes the blood from your lungs. Oh, Camille, that feels like a great weight lifted from your shoulder. You did it! You are free! Francie is, of course, still in a state of chaos. Then again, you have a hard time remembering a time when it wasn't. You know, in the back of your mind, that nothing has changed materially. However, you can't help but feel like the dusk here tastes fresher than any other you have ever experienced. From the courthouse steps, you watch the sun set on Paris, and the city feels like an old friend. No longer do you feel like an intriguing stranger, but you feel like you could truly belong here, if you so choose. And have anything you've ever dreamed of, not yet at least. At the same time, you have far more than you started with, and a whole world of possibility ahead of you. Your health, your good name, your wits, and of course, your ambition. I was like a mute. No, like your ambition, the desire to make things better for yourself. Looking back, that's gotten you pretty far, hasn't it? Yeah. Got me in so much trouble, but also, of course, while your own story comes to its close, the stories of others either continue to be written or are tragically cut short. A few days later, Joanna was executed. Oh no, she wove a web to trap you and soon found that she herself could not escape it. She made the foolish mistake of getting in your way and suffered a suitable fate for doing so. However, the rest of Paris still marches on, even as you reassert yourself and consider an appropriate way to celebrate your newly proven innocence. Who knows, maybe you'll actually be the one throwing a party for once. The great painter, haunted by the malaise that sapped her inspiration and stifled her heart, the nobility's victory over the revolutionary Paris eventually returned to do something resembling normalcy. However, Elizabeth still struggled with both her past scandals and the art of artistic inspiration. Ludovico, pushed into the clergy against his will, who struggled with a higher calling that pulled against his desire to have the love and happiness afforded to the parishman himself led in prayers. Back in Rome, he was happy to watch the nobility maintain their grip on power, as it prevented the revolutionary from bringing more bloodshed to an already troubled country. He spent his days sending petitions urging His Majesty King Louis XVI to use his newfound stability as an opportunity to alleviate the suffering and starvation so rife among the common people, and he has yet to receive a reply. No, Ludovico, love. On the head, the opulent and domineering widow, damn, okay, that's a line, who still grieved openly for her husband Charles, who passed away all those years ago. Despite the attempts to her associate in the bourgeois to oppose the nobility's stranglehold on power, wherever possible, the revolution was crushed regardless. A few months later, she was guillotined for her crimes. Perhaps now she and Charles will finally be reunited. He doesn't look happy about it. So Antoine, the fiery revolutionary, who stopped nothing to bring liberty to France. Even from the beginning, he burned with an ardor that threatened to become a raging inferno. The dream of a revolution died, Antoine died with it. Armed guards stormed his modest apartment a few weeks ago. Instead of surrendering to the enemies of the people, he died trying to strangle the first man who attempted to arrest him. Damn! Pierre, of course, survived the upheaval. We're not even surprised, because men like him have always been equipped to survive anything that fortune might throw their way. Honest men may find themselves ill-prepared in times of unease, but dishonest ones are quite used to facing danger at every turn. This got so real so fast. Of course, that's usually because their dangers are entirely of their own creation. Yeah. We will do the danger, I'm the danger, the best danger, they always say to me. While he may have been seen as hosting to the victory of nobility and tradition, he's also been heard gruesing to himself about their renewed, harsh censorship laws being imposed by the crown. Bringing the solutions through is going to be a lot harder for the foreseeable future. Through him, Fatima, the dressmaker, was the front from. Oh my gosh, was the front from which must of your elegance flow. Oh my gosh, what is this sentence? Was the front from which much of your elegance flowed. Finally, has still managed to keep her shop open. After the nobility's close call with consequences for their excesses, there has been a renewed interest in personal protection. More and more clients have been requesting that Fatima use a tightly stitched layers of silk to add armor to their finery. It might even work. Who knows? For now, it pays the bills, right? Least likely to work, the assassin in question also agrees to use a silk dagger. Regardless, she happy enough to take the money. Yeah. Of course, Camille, you're an indefatigable handmaiden. What's with all the words today? Was being by your side since your first moment in Paris. Camilla's overcome with joy. Was overcome with joy to discover that not only did you survive your trial, but that you were intending on staying in Paris. Wait, I was going to Rome. Another turn of fortune was discovered that your landlord recently fled to Paris in order to avoid persecution for a staggering list of financial crimes. No one to claim the building, you're now its de facto owner. Let's go! So the grand arc of your story comes to a subtle close. It's time proverbially setting in this chapter of your life. As the dust settles, you find yourself lovingly entwined with Ludovico, the priest pushed into clergy against his will. He who once struggled with a higher calling, the pull against his desire to have the love and happiness afforded to the parishioners that he himself left in prayer. Let's go. As soon as the opportunity was available, you fled to him in Rome. Yes, we'll receive you with open arms. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. In the morning, you stroll together through sun-drenched streets. Oh, I love it because back then, you need to remember, now the city of Vatican is this small state, but back in the day, it was like the center of Italy was the Vatican. Okay. Because so much history, I don't have time. Come on, let's. And at midday, you shelter from the heat together in the hushed recesses of great libraries. Rome is so much warmer than where I live. So yeah, I get it. He's still a man of the cloth, and his vows, of course, still need to be respected, at least in public. Yvette, you fox woman. I don't even know what that means. At night, the two of you adventure around the city together, secretly floating society's role in a city with enough of its own indiscretions to camouflage your secret thirsts. So true. I will not comment on this, otherwise the video will be 2 hours long. Oh my gosh. And as always, in Paris, life goes on. Oh my gosh, we finished the game. I cannot believe it. Oh my god, this is a roller coaster of emotions. Oh my god, I am still high on emotions. Oh gosh, give me a second. While all the names scroll. Oh my gosh, this was so cool. Oh my, oh, there was a Kickstarter. Oh, I didn't know that. That's so flipping cool. Thank you for playing. Thank you for making this game. Yo, this is so cool. We changed history a bit too. A lot. I wonder how the world would have been different if the crown had won and the revolution had been stopped. You know, maybe it wasn't possible to stop the revolution. I'd love to hear someone from France, but I don't know people from France. If someone from France is watching this, please feel free to comment and say, no, this sucks. I know how French people feel about royalty. not very well, you know. But yo, we got a happy ending with Ludovico. I'm very happy with that. Oh my gosh, what a thing. I needed some time to recover from all of this, but if you guys want, I could do another gameplay with other choices, romancing other characters, because some romances are connected with some with the revolution or the crown. Like if you romance the painter, you need to help the crown, otherwise things will go bad. If you romance the guy from the revolution, of course you have to help the revolution. If you want to romance the soldier, you need to help the crown. It's fun, it's cool, I like it. You tell me what you like to see next of this game, another game, whatever. I am so hyped. Yo, I need to drink something though because my voice is going away. Anyways, as always, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun with it and with this series altogether. Leave likes, comments, subscribe, whatever you are into. What does that even mean? I can't even speak. I'm so... Oh! Yeah, leave an interaction as a thank you. I'll see y'all next time. Bye!